Well, first and foremost, I wanted when you talked about putting $10,000 a month, I've seen a lot of people like that. It's just an example. I forgot to mention that when you was talking about that. 10,000 can be 1,000, can be 500, can be 100.
Pick the amount for you.
Yeah, it's just an example. It's not to say that you have to invest. Obviously, we understand that the vast majority of people probably won't be able to put $10,000 a month into the stock market.
But some of you dudes blowing money on girls on IG,
The OnlyFans
and getting them enhancements. And so you can do all that if you want to, but it's a dumb investment. I don't care how you mix it. And I have time this year. No, King, you can talk all you want to.
You said no, King?
Listen, you be in Atlanta, yo, baby girl, if I take you to here and all that, like, you don't have money to invest, but you have money to trick off. You pick. Like, some of you got a bag, but also behind the scenes, some of you like, this is the most money I ever had in my life, and I'm terrified now. And men are like, yo, I can't tell my wife I don't know what to do with it. Because what if I tell her and then she lose faith in me? Or I mess this money up and my wife is going to leave me. Like, you guys who make them comments online, you've never had anybody call you and cry about losing their kids or losing their family. It's cute. But a lot of you who are criticizing are not helping either, or taking them calls at 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And hey, yo, King, what I'm going to do, I'm going to lose my 3 kids and my wife leaving. That's real. But also, before you get the money, you have to have the plan. So for those of you who went to the league, right? Did you wait until you got to the league to start prepping at a high level, or did you do so in AAU, college, and then you made your progress? You can't wait until you're there. Like, it's too late at that point, but you guys can do whatever you want to, right? But pick the number for you that you can consistently invest, opposed to investing in other assets that do not
appreciate. Yeah. And another thing, when you were talking about the gaming stocks, you mentioned all of them. I saw some people had some questions about what about a Sony, but the ETF Hero has pretty much all of those.
All of them, yeah.
So if you're looking like, you know what, ETFs are my thing. I know Shadi loves ETFs. That's his thing. If you want to get all those gaming stocks, Hero is an ETF that has all of them listed. So, you know, do your homework on that one as well.
Yeah, Hero ETF. Ladies and gentlemen.
And even with Sony is not solely.
Right, exactly. A lot.
Like, going back to the streams of revenue, I want you guys to go to Sony. Put in chat, how many products does Sony have? You would be surprised. PlayStation is a hit for them. They need that hit, but it's not the sole business that they're in.
Right.
So
and it's the other companies, even like AMD and other companies that's related to the gaming industry.
Nvidia.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Okay, SMH. Whew. SMH. Whew. But let's talk about Apple. Let's talk about Apple.
My baby.
Can we talk about that?
yeah. Let's talk about it. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Yeah, man. So Apple, and it's crazy because we sat 4, maybe 5 weeks ago, and we went over a whole display of like what Apple is going to do in this first quarter. Right? We went through the charts. We went through estimates. We showed you first quarter is always the strongest. Yep. We even told you, look, they didn't report the iPhone, and the iPhone 12's numbers are outpacing what the iPhone 11 did. That wasn't part of the last earnings. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen in the first quarter? And so we prepared everybody for it. And today when people woke up, man, whoo, Apple was like, it was like Christmas all over again. Absolutely. Man, my phone was blowing up, and I was just so happy that people had actually executed on some of the information. Yeah. And then you got a few people that didn't, but that's okay. Like I said, Apple's a strong company, but this is going to be the first time in the history that somebody has a $100 billion quarter. 100 billion.
Don't let that go over your head.
100 billion with a B in 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Like, let that sit with you. That's $1 billion a day.
I know it's a hot take. Apple is the most undervalued tech company right now, hands down. If Tesla
say that they're gonna go crazy when they hear you say that. Apple, first and foremost, YouTube record.
Whoa,
we hit a record on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on the tube. Please hit the like.
I appreciate y'all dealing.
Please hit the like button. Let's get it going. So you're saying that Apple, who is the world's most famous company, the world's most valuable company, Market Monday's favorite company, Ian Dunlap's favorite company, everybody has heard of Apple a million times, is the most undervalued tech company.
It's at 142. Where's Neil? Where's Tesla? If Elon was doing 100 billion in the quarter, Tesla would be at 5,000.
Yeah.
Like, and look how much cash they have on hand. they can buy up a bunch of ancillary players still.
Right.
And then also like with Tim Cook being at the helm, he doesn't get enough credit for driving that stock because, like, for those of us that love Steve on the creative side, Wall Street was not the biggest fan of him. So to stabilize the stock and then to drive that value without Johnny Ive being there, without some of like Angela, who used to be at Burberry, leaving on the retail side, man, $100 billion in a quarter. Like, I don't think you guys realize
$100 billion a lot
in that quarter.
3 months, bro. And $100 billion is the conservative number.
Yeah.
There's some analysts who say like this could be like 110, 111.
But Apple is bigger than some countries.
Yeah,
fact.
That's a fact.
Cash
a lot of countries.
Most
countries.
Google what the GDP of most countries are. You would be shocked how much money Apple has in comparison. Like, they have a kingdom.
And the good thing, I want you to talk about some options for Apple, because the good thing for me with Apple is that I have Apple in a variety of different ways. I have Apple, I have XLK, I have QQQ. So I own Apple in a variety. I have Apple options. I have a variety of different ways. So when Apple goes up, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
It drove NASDAQ up.
Yeah. So when I see that going up, it's like, all right, I know I'm gonna have a good day on 5 different levels, not just one level. But going back to our group chat, a lot of the guys in the group chat are heavy on the Apple's options. They going crazy. They going crazy. And Troy, you advised me. You told me about. I got into an Apple option. You want to talk about because I know y'all love Apple options. So why do you love Apple options so much?
I mean, number one, it's just the strongest company. And if we know that there's going to be growth, like I said, when we were preparing for Market Mondays 5 weeks ago, I had seen the pattern. I'm like, look, this is going to have a crazy first quarter in January. This would be a good time. And so a lot of us was like, yo, I need a short-term play. And we really don't do short-term like that. Most of the times we just do 2-year plays. And I was like, all right, well, let me look for a short-term. I want something after earnings. And so I put everybody, I was like, look, man, there's this April call that I really like. And when I look at options, I do something very unique that most people don't do. And that's, I look at the history of the option call. And like Shadi called me, he always calls me like, yo, tell me the history. And so when I look at the history, I can see where that option opened up at, if it's depreciated or appreciated, and what's a good time to buy. And so most people do that with stocks.
Yeah.
They'll say like, yo, it's at a high today. All right, I don't want to buy high. Or you know what, this is a good buy-in point, or the RSI is at a different level. So this is where I get to buy in. But when you're doing an option call, there is no chart for that.
Yeah.
And so there was a tool that you can use, and we're going to do this in our group chat. In our first group chat, we're going to do this. We're going to show you exactly how to open, where it opens at, if it's a good time to buy. And so I did that with an April call. And I called Jamal this morning, and I was like, yo, man, I thought you was going to give me a pair of sneakers. Yeah. He's like, man, what you just gave me, I should buy you a house. And so we're going to give you that game. But yeah, man, short-term calls on Apple, not really my thing. I was doing it as a favor. Long-term calls, we love, right? And so if we can calculate the past performance, we can predict the future success of Apple. And so I always ask people, do you think Apple's going anywhere?
Yeah, and then even on the fundamental side, the P ratio still low.
It's ridiculous.
So like, you guys can argue with me and say it's a one-trick pony, but it's like, man, Apple is Durant. I don't care what squad you put Durant on.
He's getting 30.
He's going to make them better. Like, they have one of the best economic moats. They have the best product, one of the best teams. Like, it's hard to make a case. We can do it like versus in chat. Give me fundamentally 5 companies that are better than Apple. Because if Elon had these numbers, he would run the world.
Yeah.
He would run the world. Like, Tesla is this popular, stock price is that high, and you factor in this is post-split. Yeah, exactly. The real value is like, they should be like a 2,400, but man, it's one of the greatest companies ever assembled. Like, we're watching history in real time.
So why not be part of it? You know what I mean?
Should be.
Why not be part of it?
Yeah.
It split, and people bought right to split when it was 100, when it got to 120. If you've watched this chart, you've seen that it's consolidated over the past, like mid-December to now. It's like, yo, it's still in the contraction phase with the Bollinger Band. So it's like, yo, it's going to go on a run. So that's why I always talk. I say, yo, Shadi's going to call me. You know what he's going to call me? He's going to ask me 10 questions before you make the investment. And if I don't got 10 answers, he's not going to make the investment. And so I know, like, yo,
he's a hard sell.
He's a hard sell. So I'm like, yo, these are the reasons why I'm doing it. and then he'll make the move. I'm like, all right, bet.
I come from a sales background, and I was always taught to kill the deal.
Mhm.
You got to think as negative as possible,
Mhm.
and if you can't kill the deal, then it's a good deal.
No, my dad used to always ask me, like, what if this goes wrong? What's your counter for that?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Like, prove to me your case study for why it should work. For those of you at home, I want you to go back. I don't make you go back too far. 2005. And if you bought at the high of Apple every year, your homework for this week is calculate how long it would take for you to get back in profit.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.